Well, you've heard of Gardner Minshew, the Mississippi mustache quarterback who's dominating at Washington State. Well, it's time for the Egg Bowl. It's the game these players have been waiting all year for. Well, the Bulldogs are headed to the Elite Eight for just the second time in program history, and now it's starting to become a little trend for MSU and Tiara McCowan with her double-doubles. Like you said, Chris, 24 points tonight along with 15 rebounds. So Mr. Ely is a five-star recruit out of Jackson Prep, and about, 30 minutes ago, give or take, he made the decision to go to, obviously, Ole Miss. Jerry-On, tell us why Ole Miss. So why not give the award for best football player in the state of Mississippi at the college level to someone who's on the defensive line of one of the strongest defenses in the nation? That award going to Mississippi State junior defensive lineman Jeffrey Simmons. Well, Ole Miss back in action tonight following a bye week. Prior to their week off, the Rebels lost at home to Auburn, dropping their SEC record to 1-3. January 20th of 2019. That's a date that New Orleans Saints fans will hope to forget pretty soon, but I have a feeling that this one is going to sting for quite a while. Ethan Small, the starting pitcher for the Bulldogs tonight, did get the start in Game 2 back in that March series, but he said none of that will matter in tonight's matchup. Hey guys, I spoke to both coaches from the Mississippi team and the Alabama team before the game just to kind of get a feel of what went on in practice this week. So Coach Smith on the Alabama side said the script did kind of flip this week in practice. They were expecting a lot out of the wide receivers. The Bulldogs actually get a break from the SEC tonight. They're hosting Louisiana Tech for homecoming, the other Bulldogs. Mississippi State beat La Tech by 36 points last season. Keep that in mind. Let's head out to Davis-Wade Stadium, see how that game went today. The Mississippi State Bulldogs would strike first. Nick Fitzgerald clearly back in his groove. A 1-yard touchdown pass to Stephen Guidry makes it 7-0. And more from Fitz soon after that. This time he connects with Dedrick Thomas from 36 yards out for the score, make it 14-0. And what do you know, another Fitzgerald touchdown pass, 23 yards to Kylan Hill. The Bulldogs seem to be loving that side of the end zone as well today. It's 21-3 still in the first. And last but certainly not least, Fitz doing what he does best, on his feet for 33 yards. Mississippi State wins big, 45-3 the final. Fitz finished the day with 243 yards and 4 touchdowns in the air, 107 yards on the ground. The NFL's first female official lives in Brandon, Mississippi. From high school to Conference USA to the big league, Sarah Thomas has done it all. And this season, she raised the bar even higher by becoming the first female official in an NFL playoff game. Thomas joined me at Northwest Rankin, where her kids attend school, and we talked about her journey to becoming a trailblazer for women in sports. Sarah Thomas stumbled upon officiating in her early 20s. It all started when she was kicked off an all-male basketball team because she was a girl. Soon after that, Sarah was talking with her older brother, who was on his way to a football officials meeting. Sarah asked him if girls could attend. He said yes, and the rest is history.
Honestly and truly, as a former athlete, I said all the time that I hated the officials and they probably hated me. So when I was sitting there, I'm like, these guys really take pride in what they're doing, and I wanted to be a part of that. And then that competitive side of me is I didn't have a clue about the game of football. I didn't know there was a number requirement on both sides. I didn't know it was 11 on 11. I really did have a lot to learn. So I started at the Pass Point Association in Pascagoula, high school level. Lots of peewees, lots of jamborees, lots of middle school, whatever I could do to be involved, I did. So I worked in high school for 10 years. I was going to give it up after 10 years. My 2 boys were older then and starting to get involved in sports themselves. Being that my family was a priority, I'm giving it up. I worked a state championship game, and there was an NFL scout there, and he recognized me, and he got me plugged in with Gerald Alston, Conference USA, and Gerald, they hired me in 2007. Funny story about that, Gerald told me that he had to put my initials. I was listed on the roster of officials as S.B. Thomas because he had not told the commissioner he had hired a female. So when he tells the commissioner that he's hired a female, he was like, well, what is she going to do? And he said, she's going to work on the field. Then I was hired in the NFL in 2015.
Sarah Thomas, the first female official. She'll be a line judge.
People who think that women can't do the job as well as a man, what would you tell them?
I would just allow them to have their opinion. They're entitled to their opinion, but if mentally and physically a woman can do what the man's job is, then I don't think gender should hold her back.
talking about your family, because you wanted to get out of it at one point to focus on your family or give them the time, and you are a pioneer for young women in sports, and people would look up to you, and you have a young daughter. What do you feel like you're teaching your children, being the first woman to accomplish so much in a male-dominated field?
This past weekend, we were at the Super Bowl, and there was a girls' football camp. But I asked her the night before, I said, do you want to go to a football camp tomorrow? She said, yeah. She didn't say the girls have to do it or question, was she going to be the only one or whatever. And I think that that's huge. What's Mama tell you? Can you do anything you want to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting started walking in with your brother, could you have ever dreamt that you'd be the first female official in the NFL?
Never. Never.
She's the first woman to earn an on-field assignment for an NFL playoff game.
I have no idea how long this journey will go. I'll go as long as my body's capable of going and keeping up. And after that, I don't know. I have no idea.
Sarah remains the NFL's only female official, but she did say there are 3 other women in the NFL's developmental program.